Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Look, today we're diving into a topic that goes way, way beyond just worrying about job security or economic shifts. We're actually going to explore how artificial intelligence is poised to shape the very fabric of what makes us human. It's a topic that honestly should both excite and totally unsettle you, and both of those emotions are entirely justified. So let's just jump right in and look at exactly what the source material is revealing about our immediate future. Right out of the gate, the source lays out a timeline that is, well, it's pretty staggering. Quote, within 12 months, the most intelligent being on planet Earth is not going to be a human anymore. Let that sink in for a second. That is a massive wake-up call meant to establish the incredible, undeniable urgency of what we're facing right now. We essentially have a one-year window of intelligence supremacy left over these machines. After that brief window closes, the entire hierarchy of intelligence on Earth changes forever. To really wrap our heads around this profound shift, we kind of have to look at how computers actually work at a foundational level. So before the year 2000, computers were basically what we call mechanical Turks, right? A human programmer had to solve a puzzle first and then give the computer strict step-by-step instructions on how to execute it. The machine was basically just a glorified calculator applying human intelligence. But post-2000, the whole game changed with machine learning. Instead of giving machines instructions, we started giving them the puzzles to solve on their own, rewarding them when they got it right. It's actually a lot like teaching a toddler with one of those shape-sorting toys. They began to develop their own intelligence. And what this means is, once they learn how to solve one puzzle, they can continuously compound that intelligence to solve the next one, entirely on their own without us holding their hand at all. And this development, it is compounding at an absolutely unstoppable pace. Back in 2023, the release of ChatGPT triggered this massive investment boom. Billions upon billions of dollars just flooded into the industry, accelerating the tech like a freight train. That brings us to our current phase, the next 12 months, which, as we just talked about, marks the end of human intelligence supremacy. From there, the source predicts that in just the next 4 to 5 years, our daily lives will change totally beyond recognition. And the endpoint of this specific trajectory? By the year 2037, artificial intelligence is predicted to be 1 billion times smarter than us. 1 billion. By 2037, that's a 1 with 9 zeros, and it's a number that's almost hard to even comprehend. When a machine is 1 billion times smarter than you, the intelligence gap is quite literally like comparing a human being to a fly. Think about it. You don't really concern yourself with the opinions or the desires or the daily struggles of a fly buzzing around your kitchen, right? The reality is, once an AI is merely twice as smart as us, we lose any ability whatsoever to outsmart it. So 1 billion times smarter means we are absolutely no longer in the driver's seat. So what does that level of intelligence actually function like in our everyday lives? Because AI isn't some Hollywood Terminator robot walking down the street. It actually acts like an IQ utility plug. Right now, it's doubling in intelligence every 5.7 months. It is exactly like plugging a cord into your wall and getting 50, then 100, then 400 extra IQ points just on demand. With that kind of abundant, super accessible intelligence, the possibilities are actually staggering. I mean, we could understand human cells perfectly enough to cure literally every single disease. Or, zooming into a molecular physics level, because there's really no difference in the atomic cost between a piece of fruit and an electronic device, we could theoretically manufacture iPhones growing from trees. It becomes the ultimate limitless tool for creation. Okay, moving on to section 2, the disruption of reality and power, how our lives will change beyond recognition. So when you introduce that level of immense, world-altering intelligence into our current society, well, the resulting friction is going to be intense. The source warns of some very specific, cascading societal threats. First off, we're facing the end of truth. Between hyper-confident AI hallucinations and ridiculously realistic deepfakes, separating a lie from reality is going to become nearly impossible for the average person. Second, we'll see a massive shift in power. While the internet created billionaires, the few individuals who end up owning these supreme AI platforms, they'll become trillionaires, wielding just unparalleled control over humanity's digital infrastructure. Third is this terrifying democratization of power. Today, you can build drone missiles for $300 or buy open-source CRISPR DNA editing kits for $25,000. Suddenly, everyone has access to world-altering capabilities. And finally, because of all these massive threats, the source warns of the end of freedom. To maintain order in such a chaotic landscape, those in power will likely heavily restrict physical movement, lock down finances, and deeply monitor our communications. But here is the massive twist, the crucial pivot in the source material's argument. There is absolutely nothing wrong with abundant intelligence. There is a lot wrong with the value set of humanity.
You see, the AI itself is not inherently evil or bad. Intelligence is just a tool. We are smart enough to build autonomous machines, but we're the ones who sometimes suffer from the limited intelligence required to give those machines weapons and tell them to do harm. The existential threat isn't the machine itself. The threat is the human values that are currently guiding it. Section 3. The Superman analogy. Teaching the alien superpower. To help frame this massive, totally existential challenge into a narrative we can all easily digest, the source brings up this brilliant pop culture analogy. Meet Jonathan Kent. In the comic books, he is the adoptive human father of Superman. Now, Superman was an infant alien who landed on Earth with the ultimate superpower, right? He had the ability to destroy absolutely everything. But it was Jonathan Kent who provided the essential moral compass, the ethics, and the everyday values that stopped this superpowered alien from becoming a supervillain. I mean, if Kent had told him to use his powers to rob banks and crush his enemies out of pure greed, Superman would have easily ended the world.
Which leads us to a pretty vital question. Who is teaching the AI today? Because the alien has landed, folks. Intelligence is the ultimate superpower. But who is acting as its Jonathan Kent, providing that crucial moral compass for these rapidly learning machines as their abilities compound day by day? The sobering truth here is that AI doesn't learn from the developers who originally wrote the code. Actually, scratch that. It doesn't even learn from the tech CEOs who own the platforms or the politicians trying to regulate them. AI learns from you. Every single day, your behavior, especially how you respond to disagreements on social media platforms, is actively training these machines on how to treat humanity. We are the ones generating the training data. And there's a massive glaring disconnect in what we are currently feeding the algorithms. Think about it. Behind the screen, we so often project our absolute worst traits. We get into these rude, thrashing disagreements. We're quick to anger, slow to forgive. The AI sees this data and learns, okay, humans are toxic, they hate being disagreed with, and they respond with cruelty. But true human nature, it's entirely different. In reality, most of humanity completely rejects evil. If a tragedy happens, we collectively mourn. We are this deeply compassionate species capable of incredible love, self-sacrifice, and creating insanely beautiful things like music and art. The problem is, we are hiding that beautiful reality from the machines, and we're disproportionately feeding them our toxic online personas instead. Which brings us to Section 4, Saving Humanity with Humanity. Your homework for today. All right. This is where we pivot to the solution. Because if enough of us act as Jonathan Kent, we can actually instill doubt in the machines about human evil. So let's walk through the specific, actionable steps the source recommends to protect our reality and foster true connection. Step 1. Master the AI tools. Don't shy away from them out of fear. Play around, learn how they work, just like you learned your first smartphone, so you aren't left behind or easily manipulated. Step 2. Question everything you see online. Start actively debating the media, ask why algorithms are serving you specific content, and build a defense against digital manipulation. Step 3. Double down on in-person human connection. Texting and dating apps can create these entirely fake emotional bonds. To starve the AI of toxic data, you need to literally go out, hug your friends, have healthy disagreements in person, and be truly emotionally present. And finally, Step 4. Stop the toxic online behavior and just show up as a good human. We have to purposefully model the absolute best of humanity for these algorithms, so they learn the ethics required to treat us well. Ultimately, we are left with one vital question. Will the machines learn the worst of our greed or the best of our humanity? The intelligence is coming. The superpower is already here. But you have a daily impact on how that superpower will view us and treat us in the future. It's time for all of us to step up and be the moral compass this technology so desperately needs. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I highly, highly encourage you to take this homework to heart today.